I was like, if I'm alive, I'm going to contribute something back to the society. If I have fought death 3 times, not once, not twice, but thrice. First was obviously this cancer thing. After, in the second wave of COVID, after taking 2 chemos, I had COVID. And I had been already warned by my doctors that, after chemo, if you have COVID, that is going to be very fatal for you.
Like, I think there was a movie called Faltu. So
Huh.
that is actually realized now.
Problem that we all face is concentration and focus. This is known as Kuber Mudla, and this has been done scientifically by Jose de Silva.
Her story is going to be showcased in Success Gyan, and that is because she is a survivor. I won't say a survivor, I would say a victor of breast cancer.
Then I was like, damn, I know neuro-linguistic programming. I know how to train my neurons. What is it which is stopping me? Suppose you're a right-handed person, use your left hand. If you're a left-handed person, use your right hand. What will happen is it will activate your brain cells, and ultimately it will bring a balance between your left brain and the light brain and the mid brain. Almost whatever I put on the vision board, it happens.
Have you ever thought, if you were to die this very moment, would you be okay with it? Don't worry, I'm not trying to creep you out, और ये podcast मौत के बारे में नहीं है. In fact, it's about defeating death and actually living. Because the guest that I have today, she has defeated death 3 times. आज के पॉडकास्ट से आपको एक्चुअली पता चलेगा कि लाइफ जीना होता क्या है, क्या हमारे एक्चुअल स्ट्रेंथ्स और वीकनेसेस होते हैं, और कैसे डिफिकल्ट से डिफिकल्ट सिचुएशन को हम हैंडल कर सकते हैं. And if you're struggling to find the purpose of your life, this podcast is going to help you immensely. So I highly suggest you watch till the end, and do not forget to share with me what you felt while listening to this person, because I was on the verge of crying. Inki story itni zyada strong hai, and I just can't explain it enough. So I'll rather tell you about her, and then you can decide कि इन्होंने आपको किस हद तक इंस्पायर किया. She is Dr. Tazeen. She is the managing director of IRA Research Solutions. She's a neuro-linguistic programming trainer and has been for 5 years now, and she has transformed 5,000 plus lives till date. And I'm 100% sure she has touched countless lives and saved many and inspired so many people, including me. She is an MBA, she is a PhD. She was also a fellow speaker in the public speaking reality show Super Speaker Season 3. She's a third stage cancer survivor, and she is truly an inspiration. She is also a law of attraction trainer, and her mission is, with her rich experience of her own journey, she is now on a mission to impact the lives of at least 2 lakh people by 2030. So ambitious, check. She has countless feathers of achievements up her hat, but above all, she's a beautiful human. And मैंने personally इनसे बहुत सारी चीजें सीखी for each and every area of anyone's life. And basically, what life is all about. और जब आप ये podcast सुनोगे, I'm sure you will get it. So मुझे comments में ये जरूर बताना कितने बार you felt emotional, because I was on the verge of crying almost 3 times. So tell me your count, and tell me the learnings that you took away from this podcast, because it literally is a life lesson in itself. So without wasting any more time, let's dig in. Hello, Tazeen ma'am. How are you doing? Good morning.
Absolutely superb. Great.
This is, I think, the first podcast by far that I'm recording in the morning, full, fresh, and pleasant. This is gonna be amazing.
Superb.
Okay. So वैसे तो आपकी story बहुत ज़्यादा inspiring है, and there are a lot of things that people can learn from you. But let's start with how you got here. So you were a teacher. We have a lot of things in common, actually. Like, I have not been a dean, but I have been a teacher for 5 years, and you come from the similar background. So how was that experience?
Teaching was something I really, really enjoyed. People say that they have Monday blues, but that is something which I've never experienced. It was every day, it was like I used to be so excited to go to college, to meet my students, to teach them, to have interactions with them, to solve their queries, and the bond that they have now. It was something, we hear about unconditional love. but it was something which I actually experienced with the kids. I started my career in 2007. So the batch of the students whom I taught first, I mean, they are still close to me. I tell them, I joke them कि now they are married with their kids and all. I tell them कि इतनी कम उम्र में ही तुमने मुझे दादी नानी सब बना दिया. So, it was a different experience altogether. When I left my academics in 2021, this is something which I still miss. So I have found out ways to be in touch with college going students. I do take sessions now also with them, but on a different thing, not on the proper syllabus subject wise thing. But yes, I'm still in touch with them because that was something I didn't do it for almost 1.5 years, but I felt that no, I'm not a person, I won't be me without my students. So I have found out a way how to do it, how to balance things, and how to, be in touch with them. Yeah.
Yes, that is so true. The unconditional love thing. Because recently I went back like for some work to my school where I used to work, and literally students gathered up around, and you literally feel like a celebrity when you are with the
Absolutely,
students.
absolutely. I remember my birthdays used to be so special. And there were times, when the college was closed on my birthday. And I felt that, oh no, that should never happen. This should never happen. Because when you go to the college and when they celebrate your birthday in such special ways, na. So, I mean, there are many memories, so many memories.
So which subject do you used to teach?
I have done my PhD in HR and I've done my MBA in HR and marketing. So basically, I used to take HR, marketing, and general management subjects.
Oh, wow.
This was for BBA students, undergrad BBA students.
Hmm. And
And
now,
the funny part is, teachers generally have that, once they're teaching their undergrad, they have an aspiration to, teach PG students. But believe me, I have taught PG students. I left my job that I don't want to teach PG students. In the last organization where I worked, I was offered to teach PG students, but I was like, no, I connect more with undergrads, because undergrads are like they're just out of their school and they're seeing the world in a different perspective,
hmm,
and it's very easy to mold them. By
mold.
the time they reach PG, they are matured, yeah, there are very little scope to mold them, right?
Yes.
So I enjoy teaching undergrad students, and people, I mean, my friends are like, we have never seen a mad person like you who refuse teaching PG students and you enjoy teaching undergrads. Yeah, but that was my passion.
Yes, that is actually relatable. And now, what all subjects are you teaching?
Right now, I'm not teaching subjects as such. I am something called as NLP trainer, NLP
Yes.
practitioner, and a Neuro Linguistic programming. So what I have done is I have incorporated a course wherein I am teaching them NLP techniques as well as developing their confidence level and their communication skills. Because this is the need of the hour. Most of the private college institutes nearby in the vicinity, they feel that this is something the kids are lacking, and
Yes.
this hampers in their placement. So basically, institutes, they have their placements in their mind. So this is something which I have found out, okay, this is something which is gonna work. Communication, public speaking, NLP incorporated together. It's a module of 20 hours. 20 hours total program is of 20 hours, 2 hours session, total 10 sessions, one module. So that is what I have I came up with, so that, I stay in touch with the kids as well as do what what I love doing, right?
Again, the commonality between us is huge because I'm doing the exact same thing. Just I have not reached the stage of NLP as of now. I'm using it as a basis, but I'm
Right.
doing the same with Ho'oponopono and then communication skills, accent, public speaking, and effective and influential speaking, etc.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this was something which I felt during my academic career also. See, academics has shifted nowadays. Kids' perspective have changed nowadays. Even if you teach the subject, it is At the end, they will just study just before the exams, and they clear the exams with good marks. There are a lot many support system that they have, right?
Hmm.
Ours was like, when we did our studies, it was like, used to make notes, we used to make
So
proper
laborious.
pointers and everything that we used to do. But that thing has changed. Now kids look for something else rather than those theoretical knowledge, right? So I felt this is lacking. I mean, we fail to give them the actual life skills which they will actually need in the corporate world or in this competitive world. So I always felt it, but at that time I didn't have those resources through which I would be able to do that, right? But once I learned my NLP was something I got myself trained in 2019. After that, I had incorporated it in the colleges. Like, I used to take, even before Manish Sishodia introduced, I used to take happiness classes. Manish Sishodia, he has introduced happiness classes in the Delhi schools, right? So before that, I had already introduced it in my college. So I used to take half an hour class before the classes starts, 9 to 9:30. This college timing was from 9:30. The classes were started from 9:30. So I used to take a half an hour classes. So whoever were interested, they used to come to my class, and we had that half an hour happiness session wherein I used to incorporate these NLP techniques. And, it was so much fun. And I could see the changes. Obviously, I won't say that 100% of the students were doing it, but yeah, at least 40% of the kids were doing it, and they saw results. So, that was a different high altogether. But in a college setup, I was the head of the department. I was the dean. With obviously, I never left teaching as such, because that was my passion. I said, even if I take one subject, but I will teach. I'll take one subject. So that workload was so much that, I couldn't give 100% to my passion, to what I exactly wanted to do. Now that I'm a freelancer, so I have that liberty to do whatever I want to do. Nobody questions me now, right? So
Yes.
that's the fun part now.
Yeah. Again, like I think everything you say, there is some sense of relatability because recently I was asked to take some personality development sessions in college, and I would do the same thing. I would apply the techniques that I've learned from several mentors, and
Right.
it works like magic because they have no
Absolutely.
idea where all this is coming from. They are very
Exactly.
oblivious to these things, and they are very much needed. And we
Absolutely.
learned it from like a little bit late, but
Yeah.
they can have access to it way early, and it will
You
help them
think you
in.
were late. The other day also we were having a discussion. I find that you all have learned it so much so early in life. If you tell me I have learned it, I actually feel that I have learned it so late. But what I feel is देर आए दुरुस्त आए. I mean, जब जागो तभी सवेरा. I mean, whenever you learn it, मतलब, otherwise you'll come to this world, you just live, खाना पीना उठना सोना, and then you die one day, right? What you have done, if you realize it, awakening whenever it happens, I think it's much better than it's always
Yeah.
better to be, late
Yeah,
than never,
late than
right?
never. Yes, true. But yeah, I think ये FOMO चीज है because the Gen Zs and Alpha generation they are so fast and so
Right,
paced in so many things. तो वो
right.
थोड़ा लगता है कि oh my god, these guys are amazing.
और हमारे बारे में सोचो, when we see you kids,
Yes,
what we see, I mean, I feel actually very happy. Like, we recently had been to the change maker thing, right? So my son went with me. He is 20. He got himself, so obviously अपने age के लोग उनको मिल जाते हैं. So he found some guys who were 17, 18, and I was so happy to see them, and I went and spoke to them, and I told them that we are really happy to see the such young kids, if they realize these things at such an early age.
early.
So the world will entirely be a different place altogether,
So
right?
true. So true. They are the best of the lot, the best.
Yeah.
Okay. So coming to think that you have seen the traditional education system like I have, and now you have switched to online and self-learning space. So how do you see the contrast? Or what all things do you think are important from the traditional system and from the self-learning and like the extracurricular education, I would say?
Right. So personally, what I feel is the traditional education system, you need to get your basics clear, right?
Yeah.
First, unless and until you know how to read ABC or 1, 2, 3, other things you will not be able to incorporate in your life, right? The basic concept is needed. There is no two way about it. Basic things that the education provides, that is needed. Kids need to take it very, very seriously. But at the same time, I prefer experiential learning, right? So give them something so that they actually know how to apply these things, how this is going to help them in their future life. Teach them more of those things rather than only, law of gravity. Yeah, law of gravity is needed. Law of gravity is needed. You need to understand the basic law of gravity. You need to understand. But going into deep into physics, see, people who are good at it, go for it. But that should not be generalized. What I personally feel is, I really love that example. Ki what we are doing is, we are making a fish, we are making an elephant, we are making a bird, we are making a monkey climb a tree, right? Every animal has their own potentials, right?
Yes.
So if you were judging them on the same platform, that who is gonna climb that tree fast, I think that's absolutely absurd, isn't it?
Yes.
How can you think that a fish will be good at climbing the tree? Fish is good at swimming. Give them water, they will swim, they will show their potential. So I think NEP, the National Education Policy, is working towards it. And this government, the government that we have, they are a lot into skill development, right?
Yes.
Especially, I mean, thanks to our Prime Minister,
Yes.
Narendra Modi ji, he has done a lot towards it.
Yes.
So I think after National Educational Policy, NEP, I think things are gonna change in a bigger way. We will see the results after a couple of years. But at present, yes, this need to be changed. Maybe that was the need of the hour, because of which NEP came up, right? So
Yes.
I think things are in good hands, and we are going to see the results very, very soon,
Yes,
right?
I couldn't agree with you more because the updated curriculums are really advanced. I've seen some of them
Absolutely.
and they actually
Absolutely.
focus on applicative learning.
Yeah.
So
And I think COVID was a boon for,
yes.
self-development courses. That
Hmm.
I take it absolutely as a boon, right? Because,
Hmm.
without COVID, we would not have been talking today on this podcast.
Yes.
It is COVID which made us understand the importance of online stuff, and how easily we can connect, and we have the entire world now, right? If I want to do a course from America, I don't have to think twice. I
Yes.
have the accessibility, and this is as good as personal learning. We are
Yes.
talking one to one, right? So this has opened an entire new world to us. Those who want to do, there is no hindrance. I mean, if you just need to be a seeker, and the world is with you. Other yesterday only, I was talking to one of my one of my friend's son. He is preparing for his JEE. He has cleared his mains. Now he is preparing for his advance. So we were just discussing about what all are available online. He told me, now there is a course available which teaches you how to cry. If you're holding on something and you don't know how to let go and how to cry, there is course available online which teaches you how to cry. Can you
My
beat
God.
it?
This is crazy.
I was like, oh my God. And these things are actually needed, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you don't
True.
know. Sometimes you hold on so much things and you don't know how to let go. And going for counseling session becomes a very, very expensive affair. So if you have something online with a minimal cost, if somebody is teaching you how to let go of your emotion through crying, isn't it wonderful?
Yeah, that's true.
So
Like
you
there's
just
need
need
for
to be,
everything.
you just need to be a seeker nowadays. That's it.
Yes. So true. And I also relate with the thing that the learning part is very much needed to set the base. But the assessment, I think, needs to be twisted a little bit because there are so many things now people can do. Like there are even spaces where people are teaching startups live. Like there's no exams. There are literal colleges placed like this. Like I think there was a movie called Faltu. So
Huh.
that is actually realized now that you can
Yes.
actually go, you can just connect with like-minded people. You can build up startup ideas and they're teaching with life experiences, like the actual
Exactly.
entrepreneurs will come and teach them. I don't think we have had this kind of accessibility ever. before this.
Yes.
This is tremendous. This is like the best time to be, I would say.
Absolutely. I absolutely feel that we are in the best of the times now. I mean, so much to explore, so much to do.
So true. So now that we're done with the basic, like we have set the base now, the context is done. So now let's dive deeper into your journey because it's been a roller coaster, I would say. Lot of things are there to learn from. So how did NLP enter your life?
NLP was something, see, 2000, I would say 2017, I left one of my job, and then, the organization was very close to my heart. I had been with that organization for more than 8 years. I have grown up with that organization, literally in every terms. I actually grew up with that organization. But as I told you, that I was more passionate about teaching undergrad students. So they had closed down the undergrad program, and me and one of my colleagues, both of us were recruited in the PG program. Rest all the faculties gradually were asked to leave, but two of us were recruited in the PG program. But somehow I couldn't connect with the PG students. I was not enjoying it. For me, it was like more of I need to enjoy what I'm doing rather than just doing it for the sake of, earning a certain amount of money.
Yeah.
So I was not enjoying. And during that time, I was getting offer from a different institute, which offered me a very good, position and everything. I did go there, and they, I was like, I'm not liking this. They were like, okay, we are going to provide this. They provided me with n number of things. But somehow again, I was not able to connect to that that space. Even though it was undergrad students, with students I was okay, but somehow I was not able to gel with the working culture there, with the management, the thought process of the management. To be
Yes.
very frank, I was not very aligned with the thought process of the management. And during that time, my son was a teenager at that time, and he had some issues. And there were some issues in his school, and I came and I was like talking to him. I was like, do you want me to sit at home? Do you want my support? He said, yes, mama, I need your support in this time. I said, okay, fine. As it is, I was not enjoying that job. I left that job. I
Oh,
left that
wow.
job, and I sat at home. 1 month went, because since 2007 I was a workaholic kind of a person. Work, home, balance, everything. I was always on the go. And that was the time when I left my job and I sat at home. 1 month went. I asked him, can I join? He said, no, I need you more. So that was the time I was doing more of introspection. I got some time for myself to do, to understand myself, to do some introspection. And that time I got involved with Art of Living. I joined Art of Living Happiness program, and that I really started understanding myself. I went a little deep into it. There was a course called DSN. I did DSN also. So that was the time when I explored myself. Okay. After 3 months, he came and told me, now, Mama, I am fine. You can go and, look for a job. And immediately I applied, and by the grace of Almighty, immediately I got a job also. So I was the head of a very premier program there, something called a scholar program, which was more into experiential learning. I thought so, but it didn't happen the way I wanted it to happen. But yes, but I enjoyed that journey also. So during that time, after doing Art of Living, there was this colleague of mine in this new organization who told me about NLP. So he was also a very spiritual person. He was a German teacher out there. So we used to have a conversation at length. And then when he told me that, these are scientific techniques, we were talking about spirituality and all, how these things work. Then he told me that there's something called as Neuro Linguistic programming, which is totally scientific. They tell you the science behind how these things work, how the neurons work, how you can make your life the way you want by instructing the neurons. So it was him who actually introduced me to NLP. And then I got to know about, initially I went for a free session. It was a whole day session, 10 to 4 p.m., but it was free of cost. Obviously, it was a marketing event, no doubt. But before taking the plunge, because at that time it was a little expensive course. It still is. Still, NLP certification courses are on an
Yeah.
expensive part. But we middle class people, we ठोक के देखते हैं ना पहले spending the money. So I went for this session 10 to 4, and I really enjoyed whatever he told us. He showed some basic techniques, but I enjoyed the entire session. And that was pretty far from where I stay. For the session I went, it was more than 1.5 hours where that actual event happened. But when he was pitching the program, and I was like, okay, this is affordable, I am ready to pay this amount, only condition it should be near my place. If it is near my place, I won't think twice before enrolling. Just before he was telling the venue, I was just sending this message to the universe that please let it happen near my place. And you won't believe, it happened just 6 to 7 minutes away from where I stay. He had
Wow.
taken a place very near to my place. So I was like, done. I am going to join this.
This is the
And
power of the subconscious mind.
exactly. I before that I used to follow Secret, Rhonda Byrne, The
Yeah.
Secret by Rhonda Byrne. Thought Become Things. I am a strong follower of The Secret. So I knew that I need to give those instructions to the universe so that it happens the way I want to happen. So I want it to happen. So that's how I joined this program. And obviously, after that, I joined another N number of programs. There was something called as NLP parenting for parenting. Me and my son, we did another session. Then he is into angel courses also. Then I got myself
Oh,
enrolled for an angel course also. I learned angel course also. So it was a altogether amazing journey with my mentor. His name is Nitin Mohanlal. He is a disciple of Ram Verma. Ram Verma is supposed to be one of the pioneers who brought NLP to India. But my thing was, I didn't want to learn it from the top notch. I wanted to learn it from someone with whom I can relate to. I pick up the call and I talk to him. He can guide me anytime. So that's what that was the reason why I chose Nitin Mohanlal sir. So I did it from him. It was an
amazing.
amazing journey. Amazing journey.
Wow. This is like where the self-actualization starts. And I think I am going into that zone now. It's like the beginning of the journey for me
Right.
because I'm attracting everyone. Like every single person I'm meeting, they have done some or the other kind of the same sorts.
Absolutely. I mean, I strongly believe now that it's your vibration.
Yeah.
Yesterday also I told you, the guy who told me about there is a course on tribe. We were discussing that only. Now I know that if you are vibrating at a certain frequency, you attract such people. So you need to be very watchful. What kind of people you are attracting into your life? Once you realize that these are not the right kind of people who I'm attracting in my life, so you just need to change your vibration immediately.
Yes.
You need to work on it. Okay, this is not something to crib about. It is all about me. I
Hmm.
need to change my vibration. I need to change my frequency. Obviously, I'll gonna attract those kind of people then,
So true.
right?
So how do you suggest we do that? Like, can you suggest any like applicable NLP technique or
Yeah.
any other thing?
And I won't say it's NLP. Yeah, obviously, ultimately it's your neurons which instructs
Hmm.
you. How I change my vibration is doing something which I love doing. Okay, I love music. I love to dance. I really, just put on the music when nobody is around and dance like a mad person. That is something I do to increase my vibration. That's the easiest way, which the cheapest and the easiest way that I incorporate in my life. Obviously it is different from different person. Somebody writes, right? That increases their vibration. Somebody paints. Somebody is into something else. I mean, you need to understand what is your passion, not exactly passion, what you enjoy doing basically.
What's your
I
calming
won't say,
activity? Something
yeah,
that would
I
calm you.
won't say, yeah, I didn't get you.
Like a calming activity, something that balances you or calms you down.
Absolutely. I'm not saying that I'm very passionate about dancing. I love dancing. It's not that I want to take it professionally or I
Hmm.
am very very deep into dancing. No, I'm not that kind of a person who would do that. But yes, dancing gives me a different kind of a high. So that is something I do. And if I can, if I have time and I'm feeling too low, then I travel. I'm a travel freak. And I go to offbeat locations. मुझे क्राउड बिल्कुल नहीं पसंद है व्हेन आई गो ट्रैवलिंग. मुझे अकेला छोड़ दो, पहाड़ों में छोड़ दो, समुंदर में छोड़ दो, आई एम फाइन विथ एवरीथिंग. नदी में छोड़ दो, I'll be more than happy. Spending all my time all alone. I need to, have some me time with nature. So whenever I go to such places, even if I'm going with a group, I take out time to be with nature. Like recently, we had a school reunion. So when we went for a picnic in a beautiful place near Bhutan. So I'm basically from Assam. So Bhutan is very near to Assam.
Yeah.
So where we had our reunion, the Bhutan was very nearby. So we didn't enter Bhutan as such. It was just touching Bhutan, and it was a scenic place, beautiful stream, no crowd around. It was a picnic. So obviously we were a group of around eight of us from our batch. So we were having that picnic, and after that, during lunchtime, they were having lunch. But I stayed in the stream and I stayed there for another half an hour. My best friend was there, so she knows me in and out. The others were like, they were calling me, "What are you doing? Come, let's have lunch together." She told them, "Let her be. She needs her me time. Let her be. She'll come. She'll take some time and she'll come." So they were having their lunch. I was having my me time with the stream, with the water, with absorbing the nature around. That's how I increase my vibrations. I mean, that's what I personally do. So
Wow.
everybody has to find their own way.
We
Right?
missed dancing together this event, and there are
Yes.
so many things because these are the exact things that I like to do. I
Oh,
love being in
superb.
nature, I love music, I love dancing, and I love writing. So these are like my calming activities. This is what
Superb.
I do.
Yeah, writing, I also did. Writing really helps you, writing, I'm not a person who regularly writes. I do write two or three things regularly, like gratitude before sleeping. Gratitude is something I have completed n number of small diaries. So where I write in gratitude, that is something which I practice, which I'm grateful for. And other thing is, whenever I feel there is some problem, I like to introspect it, and then I follow that 21 days wala thing. I jot down that for 21 days and burn it. That is something which really helped me in
Mm,
my journey to overcome many things, Yeah.
yes, that's a great hack. So now you have done so many sessions with so many different age groups of people. So there must have been some crazy things that happened. So any case study that you can share?
There are many, but one which is very, very close to my heart is there was this colleague of mine who had lost her father-in-law. Okay, so after she lost her father-in-law, I was taking a session, and obviously I send the links to the people whom obviously who are in my contact list or who are in different WhatsApp groups. She was among them, and she came to know that I'm taking a session, and she paid the amount, and when I logged in, she was there, and it had been just hardly 1 week to 10 days since she has lost her father-in-law. So when I logged in, and I was like, "I'm so happy that you have joined it." The camera was not on at that time, but she had logged in, and I could see that she was in and trying to fix the camera. So I was like, "I'm so happy that you have joined in." What she told me, "Ma'am, it's not me. It's mummy who has joined in. It was her mother-in-law who joined in."
Oh,
Okay, I still get goosebumps when I talk about that because I have met her mother-in-law for a couple of, since we were good friends also, I used to visit her place, and obviously we used to have interaction with auntie. I call her auntie. So she told me that it's not me, ma'am, who have joined, it's mummy who has joined. And I was like, I wanted to come and meet you, and seeing you now, I'm definitely coming. It was in the morning. The session was in the morning. And I told her that evening, auntie, I'm coming and meeting you. In the evening, when I went and met her, she had taken proper notes, everything. And the moment I went, she hugged me and she thanked me. And she told me, "Na, I would never forget what you did for me today." So, I mean, a person who is, going through such a pain, and if I could help her heal her pain in some way, that was really, really amazing. And that is very, very close to my heart. And auntie and I have become such good friends now. So whenever she feels low, she'll give me a call and we'll have a chit chat over call. On her birthday, especially, she will invite me. She celebrates her birthday with me. A trip is due. She wants me to take her for a trip. So that is due. But now she is totally a changed person and she is enjoying life like anything. She was a person, she was a jolly good, I mean, she was associated with Lions Club. So she had that sort of a group. But after she lost uncle, she was not able to, come back to that terms. It took her time. It took her time. But she gives me that credit to bring her back to herself. So that is something, that is one of the thing which is very, very close to my heart. One thing. Other one I would just like to share is one of my students, he got selected in national football team. And he had actually lost all hopes. I mean, he had been trying to do that since long, but something or the others were happening. And then one fine day, see, we teach and we forget, right? We teach and we forget. One fine day, he called me and he was so damn excited. He was like, ma'am, these are the techniques that you had taught me because I have been trying for this since years, but it was not happening. But after joining you, after learning the techniques from you, after practicing the techniques, this is what has happened now. And all credit goes to you. So, things like this keep on happening. There are n number of things that, this can go on and on, on and on.
Yes.
So the key to is, see, we learn, but we learn a lot of things. But what do you actually implement, what you actually practice is the key. If you do something regularly, results are bound to happen. It won't change in a day. It will take some time. It is generally said that if you do something for 21 days, it becomes your habit. But if you continue it for 90 days, it becomes your lifestyle. So I suggest that whatever you do it at least for 90 days. Then you don't even realize that how you have incorporated it.
Yes.
Like initially when I learned the NLP techniques, I used to sit, properly do those techniques. But now it is a part of my lifestyle. I don't have to, take out time separately to do the NLP techniques. It has imbibed into my life. It's like that.
Awesome. So yeah, I know that NLP techniques take a certain amount of time, but is there any like surface level thing that we can suggest to the viewers so that they can maybe get started with something?
Yeah, I won't say proper NLP techniques, but how to train your neurons. There are few techniques which you can do, very simple things that you can do, because a proper NLP technique will take more than half an hour to 45 minutes, right?
Yes.
So what I suggest, see, there's a common problem that we all face is concentration and focus,
Yes.
right? We face that problem that we are not able to focus on a thing for a longer time. We are not able to develop a concentration. This is for everyone across all ages, especially for kids. It's amazing. It shows amazing results. What you need to do is you just have to put your tips like this. All three tips. The three tips should be like this and sit like this. Not putting your hands like this. Put it on your thighs. Okay. Put it on your thighs or table, wherever you want, and just be in that position for some time. And this you can do while a kid is studying, even in the classroom. This is what I used to do when I used to teach, and I saw amazing results. When you're teaching, when the kids are studying, when they're sitting in the classroom listening to lectures, keep your spine erect, because that's how the signals directly goes to your brain. That is why it is said that you need to sit erect, keeping your spine straight, right? You just need to sit straight, keeping your spine straight. Do this and sit. Even if you're writing with one hand, if you're taking down notes, put your the non-dominant hand with which you are not writing, put it like this. Okay, this will help you to be in a focused way, so you will grasp things very, very easily.
Yes.
Right? what I tell my kids is, I know you are ultimately going to study 10 days before your exams. And they say, ma'am, 10 days? Hardly 2 days, ma'am. We'll study 2 days before our exam. I'm like, okay, fine. But whatever I am teaching, I don't even ask them to make notes. They don't even make notes in my classes because I send them the PPTs, right? All the notes are there in the
Hmm.
PPT. So there's no need to jot down notes. In my class, I used to be very particular. They sit like this, spine erect, and just listen to whatever I am saying. That's it. That's
Hmm.
more than enough. And they say it ki when they study, the concepts are so clear to them because they were sitting like this.
Hmm.
Everything went to their subconscious mind. Everything was there back then. So when they study, they was like, okay, हाँ, मैम ने ये बोला था, मैम ने वो बोला था. So they relate to it very easily. For others who are going, for those who are in job, this is again a technique which will help you. Like you are going to you are going to your boss, and boss is giving you some instruction. You are sitting in front of the boss. Just sit like this. Nobody is seeing what you were doing,
Yes.
right?
I think
Just
it's a
sit like
mudra also. It works with acupressure also.
right,
Because
right. It's this is called as Kuber Mudra.
yes.
You know what Kuber is? Kuber is Kuber Puja hoti hai before Diwali,
Yeah.
right? It's basically for wealth, right?
Yeah. The Lord of
So
Luxury.
exactly, this is known as Kuber Mudra, and this has been done scientifically by Jose de Silva. There's a person called Jose de Silva. If you find on net, you will find it Jose with a hyphen upar. That's how it's
Hmm.
pronounced. Jose Silva Silva. If you go and you find, these are techniques developed by him also, and this had been scientifically proven. He sat like this, and there were wires attached to him. There was a machine which was reading his brain waves, and it was proven that this helps to improve your focus and concentration power.
Oh my.
It's These are very very strong strong techniques. Like इंडिया में इतने मुद्राज है, वेदोस में इतने इतनी चीजों का एक्सप्लेनेशन दिया हुआ है, बट वी डोंट फॉलो इट. जब वो वेस्टर्न कल्चर से हमारे पास आता है ना,
Ah,
वी लाइक ओके,
tab
नाउ इट
Vishwas
इज
there.
ऑथेंटिकेटेड. So
So true.
we just need to follow this. There are n number of things. This is one thing which helps you, like I mean, it gives amazing results.
This
जहां
is the
भी
same Jose Silva that gives the Jose Silva Ultra Mind techniques.
yes, yes, same
Yes.
Jose Silva.
Okay, so I would highly recommend everyone who's watching this, please try Jose Silva Ultramind. Videos are available on YouTube, and if you can
Absolutely.
follow Vishen Lakhiani, there's proper meditation exercise also given. Just try it
Right.
for 21 days. You will not be the same person.
Exactly. The same person. So this is that. Why I told them? Because वो authenticate हो जाता है when
Ah,
we have scientifically proven techniques है these
yes.
things. Another thing I would like to tell you is there is something called as the left brain, right brain, and the midbrain, right? We won't go into the details. One part is involved for the emotional well-being. One part is involved for the logical thinking, right? Left brain and right brain. But if you want to lead a balanced life, there has to be a balance between your left brain and your right brain, right? A simple technique to activate both the brains is when you're brushing your teeth in the morning, just use your non-dominant hand. Suppose you're a right-handed person, use your left hand. If you're a left-handed person, use your right hand. What will happen is it will activate your brain cells, and ultimately it will bring a balance between your left brain and the right brain and the midbrain. A very, very simple technique, right? Use your non-dominant hand to brush your teeth in the morning. As simple as that.
Awesome. This is
Right.
another thing
Another
like
thing which I suggest everyone to do is practice deep breathing. It
yes,
helps you in n number of ways. N number of ways.
amazing. Like I'm speechless. There are so many things. Okay, so one curious question. Like we recently got a chance to meet John D. Martini, and you said you're a fan of The Secret. So how was that experience? It must be like a dream come true because I didn't even aspire for it, and it happened, and I got to talk to him like face to face,
Absolutely.
and I got his autograph, and then I came
Oh,
back, and then I sat and I thought like, what just happened? Like I didn't like this was like I have never written anything like this. Like of course, before going to the event, I did write some affirmations for it, but it happened in such a weird way that it was like, damn, I'm getting better at this.
absolutely. I mean, The Secret. I mean, uh, I mean, the thought becomes things. You just need to think and you just need to manifest. And there is something which they talk about is the vision board. Vision board has been a crucial part of my life. And, almost whatever I put on the vision board, it happens. So initially, it was like when I got introduced to The Secret, it was way back. I think 2000, around 2010, around 2010. And the person who introduced me was Dr. B.S. Bedi. He is the maternal uncle of Kiran Bedi. So he
Oh,
used to come to our institute to take out of bound learning classes, OBL classes. We used to call it OBL classes, out of bound learning. I mean, way back, it was his talk. He was also an IPS officer. Way back in 2010, he had that, foresightedness. After retirement, he wanted to contribute something to the society. Voluntarily, he used to come and take these classes, out of bound learning classes. For MBA students and for faculty, he used to take some sessions once in a month. In that, he showed us the video of The Secret, and that is how I got introduced to The Secret. Ultimately, I saw the documentary, I saw the video, and then I got the book. I wanted to go deep into it.
hmm,
So during that time, the first instance how it worked was, I needed a laptop. And being from a middle class family, we were like, tight budget. We had to plan accordingly, when to buy. And buying a laptop was a investment at that time,
yes.
right? So I had an old laptop, and it was very heavy. It was very heavy. And my staff room was at the second floor. So I had to climb stairs to the second floor carrying that heavy laptop. And I was, visualizing. I was like, I had already put on a vision board that I want this laptop. I need to buy that laptop. And I didn't even discuss that with my husband. I mean, that was not even discussed at home ki we need to buy a laptop. It was something which was there on my subconscious mind that I need to buy a laptop. And I wanted something like a smaller one, a notebook. It was at that time we had a notebook because carrying the laptop was a task for me. I wanted something very, portable kind of a thing so that it's easy for me to carry. So one weekend we were going, weekends we used to spend in malls during that time. So we went to this mall, and there was this Reliance Digital shop, and we entered the shop just for window shopping kind of a thing. And there were some discounts which were being given on laptops. My husband told me that, you have an old laptop. We need to buy a laptop. The offer is there. Why don't we buy the laptop? I was like, are you sure? He said, yeah, yeah, yeah. I said, are you sure that it won't, budget to nahi hilega? He's like, no, 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 it's fine. Take it. You need it. You need it. That's needed. So we bought the laptop, we came home, and at that time my vision board was something inside my almirah. Now it is up there inside my almirah because people used to make fun कि ये
हाँ,
पागलपन की ये क्या
initially,
कर रही है ये ऐसा फोटो लगा के कुछ होने वाला है क्या. So every morning I used to open my almirah, I used to see that photo, and when I came back and saw it, it was exactly the same Dell notepad which I had already put in the vision board.
wow,
That was one thing which happened.
I
Then was
gotta
I
try
told you
this.
that I love nature, right? So I had one another photo where it was like a stream. There was a mountain next to it, and there was a hammock. Hammock, that
Yeah.
jhula kind of a thing where you lie and just enjoy it. I had put that picture. My sister got married, and after her marriage, she came with her husband, and we went to Rishikesh. We were camping by a riverside. Evening we went, we enjoyed in the water, we slept. Early morning, I mean, whenever I go to such places, I make it a point to enjoy the sunrise. So I woke up early. I went and did my brushing and all. While I was just exploring the resort where we're staying, and I just saw that hammock. I was like, "Wow, there is a hammock! I love hammock." So I went and lied down there. And when I saw the entire scenario, it was exactly the same which I had put on my vision board. The same stream, the same kind of a mountain. So this works. This works like amazing. So now I have a proper vision board. Like if you have heard me saying on the Super 100. Okay, guys, we are in a community of success. Yeah, and they have a contest called Super Speaker.
Yes. Now
So
I
I
think
was a
people
participant in.
know it's very popular.
People
So
know
it's
it, right?
Super Speaker
Those who
season.
know Ayushi, they know it, right?
Yeah.
That is how we both got connected. Super 100. We both are in Super 100. So I was a part of Super Speaker 1 also.
Oh,
But in Super Speaker 1, I was in till I got till top 500, Super 500. I was still Super 500. But I never got a chance to talk to Suren. So once we are having that Zoom meeting, so what I had done was my photo and Suren's photo, I cropped and put it on my vision board. And on the day of Super Speaker 100, the first meeting of Super Speaker 100, I was damn sure that Suren is gonna call me today. I had already recorded that vision
oh
chart.
my
I had already
God.
kept a photo of that vision chart. I wanted to show it to Suren, right? So the first person he called was me. He was like, I want to have a discussion
I
with
was
Suren.
on that call and I saw you, and it was like, oh my God, and they want to showcase your story.
Right.
It is damn.
So I showed Suren that, this is what Suren was like, okay, you had already manifested that. I was like, yes, I had already manifested this day. I desperately wanted to talk to Suren. So vision board works like anything. So now whatever I want, it is there on my vision board.
Okay. So now let me inform our audience that her story is going to be showcased in Success Gyan. And that is because she is a survivor. I won't say a survivor, I would say a victor of breast cancer. And that was like third stage, right? If I'm not wrong. And
Right.
it's a huge thing. And the most important part is you took on it so beautifully. Like, I would want people to listen to it through you, because the way you told me, like, you were so jolly about it and you have managed it so well. It can be an inspiration to, I guess, so many people who are dealing with it. So I would let you have your way. How would you want to present your story?
See, there was one fine day, March 2021, and I exactly remember the date also. It was 8th of March 2021 when I first felt the lump. When I first felt the lump, and obviously we didn't wait. Immediately second day we went and saw the gynae, and gynae asked me. My gynae first initially said that it's movable lump, so it shouldn't be anything serious, but you should get a ultrasound done. So I had my obviously, I mean, I am 40 plus, so obviously we keep on doing ultrasounds during this age, right? So I was very, very no, I mean, my guy ultrasound specialist also knew me very well. So while she was doing the ultrasound, and I was like, some normal Anna, she was like, ma'am, I would suggest you don't wait and immediately go to the doctor. You just take the report. She made my report immediately and asked me that you should immediately go and see the doctor. So I was like, okay, she is not seeing something normal. That's why she is so concerned. I could see that concern on her face. So I got the hint that, okay, this is something serious. So immediately I again went to the gynae and she suggested me a doctor that she is the best. Go and show it to her. And obviously after that, n number of tests happened and all the tests were suggestive of cancer. So ultimately, it's the biopsy report which confirms that you have cancer. So the biopsy report came. I think on the day when the mammography report came, I was like almost mentally prepared that okay, this is happening because mammography report almost confirmed that I had cancer. So on the day of biopsy, I was like, when the biopsy report came, I was a little calm. Like, okay, I was prepared. On the day of the mammography report, both me and my son cried. Okay, this is happening. So my husband was like, why are you guys crying? Let the biopsy report come. But when the biopsy report came, I was mentally prepared. My husband couldn't take it at that time. When we went to the doctor with my biopsy report, my doctor saw me and told me, you look normal. What has happened to him? So actually, he had lost his mother to pancreatic cancer. So obviously, all the memories might have, again flashback ho raha tha. So I told her that maybe that's the reason. And for him, I'm the only person. I'm a very social person. My husband is
Uh,
more into a very workaholic, and his
that,
world revolves around me. To his entire world revolves around me. So I was like, maybe that is why he is not able to take it. But Ayushi, believe me, even though I acted very, very tough on that, very, very strong on that day of the biopsy, but after that, it was like every day visiting the hospital to do some test, this test, that test. I was frustrated going to the hospital. It was long hours. For one test, you have to wait and then you get your test done. So one fine day, I was so damn frustrated. I was sitting and I threw all my reports like, enough. I'm not going for any treatment. This is done. I'm not going to do it. Let whatever happen, happens. Whatever will happen. I'm not going to do any kind of treatment. I was that frustrated and I cried a lot. My husband also cried, and both of us felt very, very helpless at that time. After we calmed down, my son came to me and he sat with me and he told me, Mama, we are there to support you. But at the end of the day, you have to take a call, right? You have to take a call, and for that, you need to find a purpose in life. Why that purpose should be so strong that the zeal to be alive should come from within. Then only you will be able to fight it, right? Then I said, whatever he told me, I absorbed it for some time. Then I was like, damn, I know neuro-linguistic programming. I know how to train my neurons. What is it which is stopping me? What is it? Why I am frustrated? That was the day when I took charge of my life. I said, no, I am going to approach this with a different perspective altogether. I started following a very, very proper routine, healthy lifestyle, waking up early in the morning, doing yoga, doing pranayams, everything, doing my NLP techniques very, very properly. And something shifted. Something shifted, and I actually started enjoying my cancer journey. Like, I knew that I had shoulder length hair, this long hair I had, and with those all keratin treatment and all, I had beautiful silky hair, and I used to flaunt my hair like this. But I knew that chemotherapy, the first thing that I'll have is lose my hair. So I went to my regular salon. Tony and Guy was the person whom I used to go. I went and I told my hairdresser, this is with a very smiling face, this is what has happened. And you need to cut my hair real short. But what I want you to do is, I want you to make a hair tattoo. Because that was something which fascinated me. Hair tattoo used to fascinate me, but I never had the courage to cut my hair and get a hair tattoo done, right? I never had that boldness or courage to do that. And like, this is my opportunity to do this. Cut my hair real short as you can, and get a hair tattoo done. He actually cried while cutting my hair, because he had been seeing how fond I was with for my about my hair. I mean, with the treatment and all, I was really in love with my hair. So he cut it real short. He cried, and then he got a hair tattoo done. And when he was doing the hair tattoo done, my son was shooting everything properly, so that we have those memories also. So that day, me and my son went. Only both of us went with his camera. So that was done. I flaunted my hair tattoo. I went for the chemo, and my chemo was, again, there's something called as the chemo port. They insert something called as chemo port here. If you still see, there's a cut here. You'll see a little, scar mark here. They put a chemo port here so that it becomes easy for you to take the chemos in the long run. It's a rubber kind of a thing through which they attach the needle, so that you don't have to, find your veins every time you go for a chemo. Right? So that was, so I had, it is a proper surgery. They take you to the proper OT. Obviously, local anesthesia is given, but with proper, it's a proper surgery. They cut it, and then they insert it, and then they stitch it. And on the same day, I had to take my first chemo. So after coming to the recovery room after the surgery, my husband was like, are you sure you want to take the chemo today only? I was like, I'm not going to come to the hospital again. One time, that is more than enough. Do whatever has to be done, do it today. And I took the chemo on the same day. Later on, I came to know there are very, very few people who take their chemo on the same day of their surgery, because it is already a painful procedure that you have
Yeah.
undergone. Again, chemo is another a painful procedure, right? So, but I don't know what happened. The threshold of my bearing pain was at a different level altogether. I don't know. It was NLP, it was the universe way, it was the Almighty's grace. I don't know. These things I realized later on. While I was going through, I didn't realize anything. My doctor came and he was like, okay, you're taking your chemo. I was flaunting my hair tattoo. He was like, cool. You're a cool dude, man.
Oh
Absolutely
my
cool.
God.
So that happened. After my first chemo, one day I was doing my pranayams and I was just running my fingers through my hair. The hair started, I mean, it just comes out. It just comes out because chemo is something which affects all your growing cells. It kills all your growing cells. Cancer is nothing but, n number of uncontrolled cell growth, right? So it kills all the growing cells. So that is why your hairs, fall, because these are the growing cells. Your nails become dead. Your the nails dies. So these things happen with these are the side effects of chemo. So once the hair started falling, I was like, I'm not going to wait till it falls. I said, "Ki, today I'm going and I'm getting bald." I again went to Tony and Guy. I could have got bald in any nearby salon, right? But nay, I said, nay, I'll go to Tony. I need that ambience only. That day, my husband also went. My son was there. My house help was also there. I mean, she was there for me with me since more than 14 years. She also went. And this guy, when I told him that now, this is what has happened, you need to shave it off. He was like, okay. Again, he cried. The entire staff cried actually that day when I went there, because I have a habit of talking to everyone. You can understand that I'm a very, very talkative person. So everybody in the salon knew me. So everybody cried when I was going bald. And he told me that, ma'am, you have to keep your eyes closed. I was like, no, I want to see the procedure. I want to see how you shave my head. He was like, no, if you keep your eyes open, I will not be able to do it. Please close your eyes. I was like, okay, fine, I'll follow your instructions. I kept my eyes closed and I could feel, I could hear he was like, while he was doing this, I could feel that he was
My
crying like
God.
anything. And
I
I
think
was
I'm gonna
laughing.
cry
I
by
was
the
laughing. But when I saw myself bald for the first time, it did hit me. My husband came, my son came, my house help came. I hugged my husband and cried for, say, around not more than a minute. For sure, not more than a minute. I just cried for a minute, not more than that. After that, we came out. I was like, I need to, change this. I need to, change the mahal, because वो mahal ऐसा हो गया था ना, to look, to see me bold. And I was like, I want to have dosa. Because after chemo, you have there is restrictions also. You need to have fresh foods. You can't have, क्योंकि वो infections के बहुत chances होते हैं. We went to the best South Indian outlet out here, Sri Ratnam. We went there. We had a proper dosa there. I had a plain crispy dosa because I didn't want to have other things, because I wanted to have just the fresh thing. But I wanted to change the entire atmosphere. Four of us went. We had dosa. We had a good laugh. We enjoyed there. We came home. After coming home, my husband was like, I have to buy a pajama. Let me just go and buy a pajama. I was like, okay, fine. He went and he came back. He was bald. He went and he shaved his head.
wow.
So next chemo, when we went, everyone in the daycare was like laughing, looking at both of us.
Oh my God.
So when I got my hair cut real short, you have met Irfan, right? He had long hair. When I got my hair cut real short, that day he also cut his hair. He also cut his hair real short to give me support that time. And when I got bald, my husband got bald with me.
Wow.
So, you need to have that kind of support system. When you're fighting this kind of a thing, your support system plays a major role. I remember, my husband and my son both are great cooks. My husband used to prepare healthy, very, very healthy breakfast for me, and the presentation was amazing. Sometimes I'm getting heart shaped, sometimes I'm getting with a
Oh my
rolls.
God.
Every morning I used to look forward to what breakfast I'm going to have. I used to stay in the bed reading a book or something, doing my pranayams, doing my yogas, and he used to be in the kitchen preparing my breakfast. So that plays an important role. He left his job. We are a nuclear family, just four of us, me, my husband, my young, during my, when I got ball, five of us went, me, my husband, my son. I have an elder son also. He's a kind of an adopted son. He is with me since he was in class 5. He went, and then my house help. Five of us went. Again, this guy whom I am talking about, his name is Arvind. I like to, I mean, without him, my life would have been entirely different. My husband, my son did play a role, but this guy was like standing next to me, throughout my journey, like anything. Even if I'm having some problem at 2:30 at night, he was the person who would be like, after chemo, you have a lot of gas problem, acidity problem. He would be like rubbing my back, 2:30, 3 p.m., 3 a.m. in the early in the morning. So this guy is like, I just have to just call him, Arvind, and he was there with me. So he had supported me like anything during my cancer journey. Today also the entire setup early in the morning. I mean, we have a business. He is a part of our business now, and I think till around 2 p.m., 2 or 3 a.m. He was working. So I didn't wanted to wake him up in the morning, but I had left my webcam at office. So, if I went to office to get my webcam, the time would have been different. I woke him up, bichara, wo subah utke gaya. He got the webcam. He did the entire setup, and now he's sleeping. So, without him, my life would have been totally different.
I think you're blessed
So
with
I owe a
amazing
lot
men
to
in
him.
your
I
life.
really owe a lot to him.
Yeah.
So yeah, that has been my cancer journey. And if you as I told you that I actually enjoyed the entire cancer journey, I made it a point after completing each phase of treatment, I wanted to celebrate it. Like the first thing was the surgery. That was the major part. After surgery, after healing from the surgery, I always wanted to go for paragliding. That was something in my mind. After healing from the surgery, I went for paragliding. Then after completing my radiations, I took a 10 days road trip. There was a place called Chakrata where I did a trekking to the Tiger Falls.
My God.
People say that after chemotherapy, you'll be so weak that you won't be able to walk, and that I did trekking, proper trekking to the falls. So everything is up here. Everything is up here. So you just need to take things, you just have to change your outlook here. First chemotherapy was bad because I had so much of presumptions that this will happen, that will happen. You hear so much. I never read anything, but people used to come and tell me that you need to take care of this will happen, this happened to them, this happened to that. But after first chemotherapy, I was on bed for 4 days. Like abhi weakness ho rahi hai, this ho rahi hai, that ho rahi hai. And then once I started this practices regularly, it shifted. I was taking sessions, I was doing everything after the consecutive chemotherapies. So I was never on bed after that.
My
So
God.
this is very, very strong. This is very, very strong. That is something I realized in my cancer journey.
Let me tell you something. You
And
are beyond inspiring.
and second thing, what I did, Ayushi, was I stopped talking to everyone. I just spoke to them who spoke to me, who were actually concerned about me. And when they called, they never used to talk about how is your health, what is one small thing they will ask. They will judge my voice only that I am okay. And it was normal conversation. The normal conversation that we used to have that. I stopped talking to those people who sympathized. When you hear those people, there were people who were like, my wife also had this and we lost her to that. I like, okay, fine, thank you.
Oh my God. Why would people do that?
There are people, I don't know, and there were few well-wishers also who were genuinely concerned, but their concerns were frightening for me.
Yeah.
Like, see, this will happen, that will happen, you need to take care of this, that you need to take. I didn't want to put any negative thoughts to my subconscious mind. So I was very, very selective to whom I need to talk during that time. So yeah, that the few things that I did which actually changed the way I perceive things. And initially, actually, I never thought that I was doing something different, because in when I where I used to go to take my chemo sessions, I used to wear proper makeup, I used to wear best of my accessories, best of
Wow.
my outfits. I used to enjoy that day, and we used to watch a movie out there, a comedy movie. During my chemo sessions, and we used to they had this concept of special lunch also. So the one who used to come and he said, "Ma'am, आज special में ये है, ये खाओगे या ये खाओगे, क्या लाओ आपके लिए?" लेकिन नहीं, आज तो मैं ये वाला special वाला खाऊंगी. So it was like that. So initially, I never thought that I was doing something different. But after my doctors started calling me and telling me that, इसको हम बहुत समझा चुके हैं, we are not able to convince, can you just talk to her, I'm sharing your number to her, please talk to her. जब डॉक्टर्स ने they started giving me patients to counsel, then I understood maybe I'm doing something different, because of which they want me to talk to more patients, right? So that was the time I realized, okay, maybe I'm doing something different, which everyone doesn't do during this cancer journey. When I spoke to these people, there were people where their cancer has been detected in the first stage. Not even, I mean, it hasn't, just in the first stage, just at the nib, it was detected. Still, they were I mean, they were so
Pessimist.
anxious कि my life is ended. I mean, अब क्या होगा? I have बच्चा. My kid is this. Yeah, I mean, they are so young. What will happen? This and that. I was like, why are you even thinking of death? This is the first stage. Mine is third stage. So, and another thing which I realized was how you carry yourself. There was this incident when I was totally bald. I was invited to by one of the colleges to judge an event. I was judging that event, and there was this girl sitting next to me, a little on the plumpier side. So we were having just normal conversation, and she was like, I have so many problems in my life. You see, I have gained so much in the last 2 years. I have PCOD, I have thyroid problem because of this. This is happening, that is happening. She kept on going and going and going and going. She was a young girl, somewhere around 27, 28. She kept on going and going, this problem, that, all small problems. Okay. So I was like, okay, fine, Manavala, fine. After talking to me, do you think I am going through some problem? She was like, no, you look absolutely healthy. You look so vibrant. I don't think you are going through any problem. I said, didn't you notice that I am bald? She was like, yeah, but I found this that you are a bold lady and you're carrying it as a style statement. I was like, sorry, darling, I have third stage cancer. This is the side effect of chemo. And she was zapped. And she was like, she couldn't speak for some time. For a couple of seconds, she was just absorbing the thought. She was like, I was talking to you since morning and I never realized that you are undergoing something. I obviously changed her perception. She started seeing her life from a different perspective. She is a different person altogether now. Just that incident changed her. But at the same time, it gave me that perspective that it is how you carry yourself. If you carry a personality of a victim, people will come and sympathize and they will, oh, ye ho gaya, that ho gaya, this ho gaya, how you are coping, this and that. But if you don't even let that come out, people will treat you absolutely as a normal person.
Biggest
And that is
bulb.
what exactly I wanted during that time. So that again shifted my perception. I was like looking at me bald, a lady.
Okay. Oh my God. There are so many bulbons through this journey. And for anyone who is going through anything like this, just look at this woman. You have literally changed my perspective about so many things. So thank you so much for that. And if anyone is going through any hardship, I would just suggest to revisit this podcast, and it would just regenerate something in you, because that's what you have done for me in this like 10
Yeah.
minutes of time. Thank you so much for that, first of all. One thing I want to ask you is, you said, like, I think your son has been a guiding light for you. So when he asked, like, find a purpose, and when I asked you, like, when you were at your toughest phase during this journey, what went through your mind, or what was that one thing that kept you going?
See, I was like, if I'm alive, I'm going to contribute something back to the society. Two things I was very, very clear. That one thing was like, I am very, I have a bond with my students, right? I can connect very easily with this generation. Maybe, I mean, this is God gift. I don't think I have done something for that. This is a God gift. Like yesterday only, that guy who is preparing for his JEE means, he came and he spoke to me for more than an hour. Actually, he had lost his mother during his 12th. So, and she was a very good friend of mine. So he had taken a drop year and now he is preparing for his JEE. He had already cleared his mains and is preparing for his advance. So I connect with them. So with my experience, I obviously can guide them in a much better way. So I was very clear that this thing I'm going to pursue, that I'm going to help this young generation in some way or the other. And secondly, that I want to work with cancer patients. So I was very clear that this is my purpose and this is my way of giving back to the society. So Ayushi, you won't believe I have fought death 3 times. Not once, not twice, but thrice. First was obviously this cancer thing. After, in the second wave of COVID, after taking 2 chemos, I had COVID. And I had been already warned by my doctors that, after chemo, if you have COVID, that is going to be very fatal for you. So you need to be very, very conscious about it. So my work was through internet, work from home kind of a thing.
Yeah.
The business setup that we have, it is work from home. So I used to sit in my room with the air purifier on. I had taken that kind of a precaution so that I stay away from COVID. But universe has its own things. I had COVID. And it was during that time when there was a scarcity of oxygen. So, my sister was going mad looking for oxygen. Ultimately, she had sent 2 cans of oxygen, which was, I think, 3,000 rupees bucks, 1 can, small can. And, those were not at all effective. Not at all effective. And the day my oxygen dropped, I tried to use those, but those were not effective. But luckily, on the same day, our society got the oxygen cylinders. And I got the oxygen cylinder right at my bedroom. And the society was fighting like anything to get those oxygen cylinder. Something or the other was happening. And we were like, I was not panicking that much. I don't know. I had immense faith in the Almighty. In the hospital, once I read, let your faith be stronger than your fear. I read that quotation and that was there on my subconscious mind. COVID was bad. Obviously, almost for 20 days, I was bedridden because I was so weak that I was not able to, do anything. But what I was doing was I was watching web series or I was reading a novel. During whatever time I was awake, I used to do that and I was sleeping most of the time. I never realized the intensity of that, but my entire family were damn scared, So I was not talking to anyone because I didn't have the strength also to talk on the phone or to talk on a video call. So, but obviously, see the coincidence. The day my oxygen dropped, the same day society got their oxygen cylinder, and I was provided the oxygen cylinder and I was okay. I mean, that thing never happened. Had I not got that oxygen cylinder that day, I would not have survived because there was no space in the hospitals around. You were not getting any beds in any of the hospital because, I mean, it was the peak of oxygen crisis,
Yes.
right? So that was the second time I came back from that. Third time, it was after I was declared cancer free. And that too, after I was declared cancer free, and my first birthday after I was declared cancer free. It was 7th of November, night, 7th of November. 8th of November is my birthday. So what happened was, I told you there was something called as chemoport.
Yes.
And generally, even after being declared cancer free, they keep their chemoport for a certain span of time. So the chemoport was not removed. What happened was, septicitis happened through that chemoport, because that's an external thing which has been inserted in my body for more than 1.5 years. So I was getting fevers on and off, and fevers were like 103, 104. And we thought that it was because of the immunity system. My immunity system was compromised because of the chemos. And whenever I used to exert, I used to get fever. We were under that mentality. I used to take paracetamols. The fever used to subside within 2-3 days, and I was normal. But on 7th of November, what happened was, my fever was 104. I was not able to wake up, go to the washroom even on my own. That had never happened. Even during my COVID or even during my chemotherapies, that never happened, that even to go to the washroom, I had to take some support. But that day, I had to take my husband's support to go to the washroom also. While coming back, it was at 10 p.m. at night. I just told them, kindly please check my BP. Just check my BP. When they checked my BP with the digital meter that we had at home, it was not reading. The BP machine was not reading my BP. We thought some problem with my BP. My father was there, my husband was there. We checked it on them. It was working on them. I was like, the machine is fine. Why is this not reading mine? Then there was my neighbor. I told him that just go and bring her machine. Let's see if her machine works. On her machine, there's two BP is like upper and lower, right? It's 120/80 is the normal thing.
Yeah.
My upper was 40, lower it was not reading. So we have a doctor in my society. My husband immediately called him, and he told, obviously he knew about my situation. My husband told the doctor that this is what is happening. He said, immediately take her to the hospital. I went to the hospital. While going, I only spoke to my doctor. The doctor told me it is the chemoport. The chemoport has to go out. It is septicitis which has happened. Your body has gone on a shock. I was like, okay. I was admitted in the emergency, and then after that, the chemoport was removed, and I was immediately shifted to the ICU. So once I was in the ICU, I was talking, I was doing everything. I went to the washroom walking. I was going to the washroom walking. So doctor came and they scolded the nurse. I mean, can't you see the medicine that was being given to me was a very high dose medicine. The doctor told the nurse that, can't you see that she is on this dose? How can you even allow her to go to the washroom on her own? Are you mad? I mean, they scolded. I was like, what's happening? I am normal. I am talking. I'm doing everything. What's happening? I asked my doctor, I mean, what is exactly happening? I mean, why have I been put in the ICU? ICU atmosphere is entirely the worst place to be in, right? It's a very, very depressing place. So I was like, why I am here? So I'm talking, I'm normal. So she told me that, the medicine that we are giving is at 27 mg. To increase the BP, generally for a normal person, we give 1 mg and their BP shoots up like anything. You are being administered 27 mg of this medicine, and if we are decreasing it to 26 even, your BP drops. So I hope you understand the intensity there that you are in, and it is Almighty's wish that you are in the hospital. If you would have slept on 7th night, you would not have waken up on 8th morning. So I make it a joke. I told my husband that, that would have been so great. You just have to remember one day. I came on the same day I left.
Oh my God, how can you do? I'm literally having goosebumps listening to this. It's, gosh.
And my doctors were so cool. I cut my birthday cake there. They celebrated my birthday there. I mean, they got complaints also. How can you make so much of noise here? You are not supposed to make that kind of a noise here. But I was celebrating it there. And one thing I did in my ICU was I asked for novels because you are not allowed to take your mobile phone. There is no TV out there. And every patient is on machines, this sound of machine, that sound of machine. I was attached to 2, 3 machines. My hands were just free. Obviously, my hands were also had those, saline, and
Yeah.
those were there, but I could move my hand at least. So I told that I need novels. I read a lot, and I asked them to give me novels. But at night you cannot sleep in the ICU. It's such a you don't, if you, even if you sleep, you are just sleeping for a couple of 1 or 2 hours, and there would be some or the other sound which will wake you up,
Make you.
right? So I was reading novels and I finished my novel. I did, and the visiting time was 11 a.m. in the morning. So I was like, I don't have anything to read. I asked the boy who was there. I asked one of those nurses. I asked them, "Do you get newspapers here?" He said, "Yes, we do get newspapers here." I said, "Can you bring me a newspaper, because I don't have anything to read. I had already completed my novels, and I had to wait till 11 a.m. till I get my second lot of novels." So he came and gave me a Hindi newspaper. I was like, Hindi. I can read Hindi, but obviously it takes a little time, because
Yeah.
since class 10th, I've never read Hindi. I've never studied Hindi. So he's like, this is the only paper we have as of now. Whenever we get the English one, I'll give it to you. I was like, okay, fine. I started reading the entire Hindi newspaper. I finished the entire newspaper. I kept it, and he said, "Ma'am, Hindi wala complete ho gaya. I have got the English one. Do you want it?" I was like, "Yes, please." He then came and gave me the English newspaper, and before I completed the English newspaper, 11 a.m. ho gaya tha. I got my second lot of novels. That's how I kept myself busy in the ICU too. Otherwise, it would have been tough. It would have been tough. I was there for 5 days. After that, I was discharged. So 3 times, since
Wow.
I had faced that 3 times, so I was like, universe definitely has a different plan for me. सो अदरवाइज बंदा एक बार बच के नहीं आता, मैं 3 3 बार बच के आई, तो I have to give back something to the society. I have to align myself with the universe's plan, right? So after that, after recovering, I knew about Brahma Muhurat. So I do my meditation in the Brahma Muhurat nowadays, because it's said that when you stay awake during the Brahma Muhurat and meditate, so you align yourself with
Right.
the universe's plan.
Yes.
So I have now surrendered to the universe that, uh, just show me the way where I have to,
Yeah, I've
where
been
I
trying
have
to
to go.
do that. But
Yeah.
you, man, you have literally played with death. And you have played with life also. This is like you're a goddess.
Don't tell me that.
My
That would
God,
be.
I'm blown away. Oh my God, I think I need to get this in. Wow. So thank you so much for sharing this in such depth, because it's gonna help a lot of people. Now, one
I
curious question:
just
like
hope.
I was having this session with John D. Martini. We were having a live session, I think 2 days ago, with Mitesh sir
Mm.
in our community.
Okay.
So he talked about specifically breast cancer. That he talked about a lot of other diseases also. That for every physical thing, there is something emotional that is stuck,
Exactly. Exactly.
which manifests into different kinds of diseases. And I believe very strongly with this because I have observed this in multiple cases. So he
Absolutely.
said that for breast cancer specifically, it's some kind of lack of nurturing, either by yourself or someone else. So is this that you also felt?
Absolutely. So there was this incident, like, after my second chemo, there was some derangement in my liver profile. So I was asked to visit a gastro. So when I visited the gastro, they had asked me to go for some test, couple of tests. When I went with those tests, they said that you have to go for another. There were around 10 set of tests and biopsy of liver also. Okay. So, and they said that you have to go for biopsy of liver and it will come positive. And they were that sure. Obviously, I changed my doctor, and he told me, no, just do these two tests. If something happens in these two tests, then we'll take it forward. And those, by the grace of Almighty, those two tests were normal, so everything was normal, right? But that was the phase when I was a little in a low phase. I was already battling one cancer, and now they are telling me that I have liver cancer also. That was a little tough for me to accept. So I took a counseling session. There's this lady called Hani Vichani. She is from Mumbai. Again, I met her through Success Gyan only. I took her counseling session. In that, she introduced me to Louise Hay. So she has a book called You Can Heal Yourself. She introduced me to Louise Hay. I got the book, and again, that book was again gifted to me by one of my ex-colleague who is a very good friend. I just told her, she happened to visit me the same day, and I told her that this is the book that I'm going to buy. Immediately she ordered, and the next day the book was with me. I didn't even buy that book on my own. So when I read that book, absolutely what you were saying, I found out that for every disease there is an emotional trauma or emotional baggage that you hold, because of which these diseases happen. But I considered myself to be a very happy-go-lucky person, and I was like, what is it that I am holding? And Ayushi, you won't believe, it took me 3 days of introspection with a lot of meditation, a lot of introspection. I was like, what is it? I need to understand it myself first. What is it that I am holding? And after 3 days, I got the answer. I got what I was holding, right? After 3 days of introspection, after 3 days of meditation. Once I got it, she had given affirmations also, which you need to write, right? I started writing those affirmations for again 21 days together, and it gave me so much of power. Louise has 3 books. One is You Can Heal Herself. Another one is where she has only the affirmations, which you need to write, right? So I took that affirmations book to my surgery on the day of my surgery. The book was with me, and I was continuously affirming it. I had learned those affirmations. This was around 5 lines affirmation that I was doing regularly. And initially, obviously, I used to see and remember, but then it went to my subconscious mind. And you won't believe, on my OT, when I was taken to the OT, I इतना सा भी डर नहीं था. A long time back, I had a gallbladder surgery. That time I was scared. But this time it was such a major surgery. Gallbladder was a laparoscopy. That was a very small thing. But I was scared at that time. But this time it was such a major surgery. But मैं खुद को सवाल कर रही थी, मुझे डर नहीं लग रहा, मेरा palpitation नहीं हो रहा है, what is happening? Then I understood that these things are so very powerful. These are very powerful. One, let your faith be stronger than your fear, which was there on my subconscious mind. And then Louise Hay really helped me a lot. It really helped me.
Wow.
But yeah, there was something which was which a childhood thing. As you correctly said about nurturing, it was definitely related to that. It was definitely related to that.
And most of the things that we face in life actually does come from our childhood.
Actually.
Decoding that is very tough. So 3 days is very less a time. People take months to get to like what is the actual problem. And it's totally unexpected because I tried, I have been trying, and I've come down to very few of them. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. So again, inner child healing is another thing that I would highly recommend that everyone needs to do, because you will not know what has hit you and why. So wow, amazing.
You need to go deep into it. I mean, it was initially it was very tough for me to realize what I was holding.
Yeah, it is tough, but you, my God, you are the ultimate like dude. Now I'm going to watch this podcast every time I feel low or like, going into that victimized zone and saying stupid things, because the things you have dealt with so gracefully, this is a life lesson.
Thank you, Ayushi. Thank you so much. Really means a lot. Really means a lot. Thank you.
I hope maximum people get to watch this, because this really will teach them a lot of things about life, like what actually life is. And thank you for teaching me that today.
See,
Okay.
now I believe that you need to live life as it comes. You just
Yes.
uh, be with the flow. You never know what happens, right? Or jab everything is normal, just enjoy life. Just enjoy life. जियो तो हर दिन ऐसे जियो जैसे कि आखिरी हो.
जैसे
That's
कि
my
आप,
funda of life.
या,
कहीं भी जाओ, I mean, if I feel like doing something, I'll just go and do it. I don't wait कि ये बाद में करूंगी, ये करूंगी, वो करूंगी. I'm a completely different person now. जो करना है, जो मन हो रहा है, अभी के अभी करो.
अभी करो. Perfect. So you own a publication house. Just give us a little review about that as well. ताकि लोग आपसे definitely connect करना चाहेंगे. So they have your entire view. How many ways they can connect with?
Yeah, actually, since I was an academician in academics, we need to publish research papers, right? Because you need to keep yourself updated with the recent trends. Like I did my MBA in 2002, and the world now is entirely different, right? So to keep ourselves updated, that's a mandatory thing that academician needs to do. So initially, I used to write papers on my own and get it published. My husband is from a business background. I am totally from a service background. My husband is from a business background. So, along with his job, he always had that neck to do something else. Once after coming back from office, he always used to have something else, a different source of income, some income. So when I was into this publication zone, and he got interested, what is it that you do? How does this model work? Then he understood that, okay, this can be turned into a business also. Then we had initially one journal that was a peer reviewed journal, then two, then three. We had three peer reviewed journals. Then one of our journals got listed in UGC list. There was something called as UGC list, which gave us the boost. Okay, fine, this is there. So along with our jobs, this was going on. He was the one who was actually looking into it. I was like just a supporting kind of a thing. Once it was in the UGC list, so our business actually became a profitable model. It started earning. We started earning through it once it was in the UGC list. But in 2019, something called as the UGC care list came. In that, our journal got delisted. So he was like, oh, our journal got delisted. Then we had a discussion. Then we said, why don't we get ourselves tied up with the n number of indexed journals, different journals, which is indexed. There are indexing agencies called as Scopus, ABDC, Web of Science, and now UGC Care. So we got ourselves associated with these different index journals. Then we started getting papers through this, and the business started. We help people basically to get their research work published in this various journals. We help them, we guide them how the research paper has to be written. We guide them, handhold them throughout the process, and ultimately they get their research papers published, right? Because it's a little tough to get your research paper published in these journals. Generally there are a lot of rejections, but since we know the know-how, we have the know-how. I had myself published the papers, and now we are in the industry for more than 10 years now. So after that we got that, and COVID was actually a boon for us. The first wave of COVID, we were at home. We had our laptops, we had our internet. We started conducting conferences online. And then earlier it was offline conferences, now it was online conferences, and it opened our doors to the entire world. Anybody can contribute papers. We started helping them, and then this flourished. And in 2021, after my cancer journey, we started that we approach life in an entirely different way. Your outlook towards life entirely changes, right? So I resigned from my job in January 2021. That was much before much before my 2 months before I was diagnosed with cancer. I resigned in January 2021 because I wanted to be a full-time NLP coach, as well as we wanted to take this business forward on a larger scale. Because COVID gave us that confidence that, okay, this is doable. I mean, whatever I was earning from my job, I can at least earn that amount through this business. So that gave us the confidence. COVID gave us the confidence. So I resigned in January 2021, and I was a freelance NLP coach, as well as I was looking after this business. And March 2021, again, after 2 months, cancer happened, and then my husband's perspective towards life also changed, and he wanted to spend more time with me rather than spending 8 to 9 hours. And he had a touring job. So he had to go on tours. He was like, I don't want to leave you. And initially we started the business during that time, and ultimately he also left his job. Right. So now we are into this. Plus, now we have developed 4 publication houses through which we publish books also. We help people get their books published also. So
Oh,
it's a
wow.
full-fledged. Now we have a proper office. We have more than 15 employees with us. I don't call them employees. They are our team members. They are all team members, because every individual contributes towards your growth, right? So it's our funda. You grow, we grow. So we grow together.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome.
And one
Wow.
thing I relate to this with Velumani sir is, we also give opportunity only to freshers. That is our funda.
Awesome.
Funda
Yeah,
also.
that is
So I
much.
related when he said in during change makers that it is his company policies that they employ only
Only
freshers.
freshers.
We have freshers. We do have we have 3 qualified doctorate who are from IITs. We need that guidance also.
Hmm.
We have 3 people from who have completed their PhD from IITs. So doctorate from IITs, 3 IITians we have, PhD holders, and then rest are all freshers. We give opportunity to them, and they are growing like anything. They are growing like anything.
Yes.
I really enjoy what we are
Wow.
doing.
Wow. You're literally putting every skill set of yours to use for the betterment of others.
That's my
Wow.
funda of life.
Yes.
Together, alone you can do little. Together you can go a very long way.
Yes. So true. Awesome. So, lastly, I don't want this to end, but like we have seen your heart. So, what is the ultimate thing that you would suggest to the generation today? Maybe in terms of relationship or parenting or life, anything like what's in your heart, the core of your heart that you would like to give away to people?
For this
Yes.
generation, I would suggest start practicing gratitude, because that is something which I am observing in this generation. I am observing 2 kind of things. One, who are very, very clear what they want to do, and they are getting themselves upskilled in some way or the other. The other lot is lost. There are two kind of people, and they are more into the real world rather than the real world.
Hmm. True.
This insta post, this stories, enjoy the moment. Don't just do things to show off. जो
True.
ये चल रहा है ना, एक तो है who are actually working and actually putting it. Another is they want to be in this race. Peer pressure इतना है, and they want to showcase just for showing, and they're taking so much of anxiety to do that. Don't
Hmm.
do that. Be real and be grateful of the things that you do. Because at times when I take these sessions for these kids, when I ask them, I do an activity. When I tell them, write 5 things that you are grateful for, in most of the cases they are blank, even though they're sitting in a AC accommodation, proper classroom, proper auditorium with AC and beautiful sitting arrangement, with an iPhone in their hand, but still they don't have 5 things to write that they're grateful for. Then I give them a different perspective. Then they are like zapped, like, oh God, we are leading such a blessed life. Somewhere I read that the life that you are leading is a dream of many, especially in a country like India. If you don't have to even think of how the next meal is going to come, you are already blessed, isn't it?
So true.
If all your body parts are working properly, you are blessed,
Yes.
right? So if you start jotting down, you will find n number of things that you would be grateful for. Once you start appreciating the things that you are grateful for, you will start seeing world in a different perspective. So this is one of the major message that I would like to give this generation. Just be grateful for what you have. You are blessed. You are superbly blessed. And secondly, be real. Don't don't be under the pressure of this real world. Just don't do things just to show off, right?
Awesome. Awesome. Any relationship advice that you would like to give, like in general, because you connect with all kinds of people on a very deep level. And I'm literally very grateful that I met you. Like, I want to thank the universe for this, regardless of the podcast, just the connection that we had. So, I'm grateful for that. So, for building
For
connections,
relationship, I would say I'm still in the learning phase. Puja Puneet says that you need to, if you're in a relationship, you need to accept the other person 100% as the other person is.
mm,
I'm still in the learning phase. I'm still working on it. I don't think that I'm a person who can give relationship advice as of now, because I'm still in the learning phase. I'm still working on it, because
wow,
it's really, really difficult to accept the person 100% as the person is. It's tough. You want the other person to change according to your whims and wishes. But if you are not ready to change, how can you expect the other person to change, right? It is easily said than done. I'm still in the learning phase. I'm still working towards it.
so thank you so much, Tazeen ma'am. True to your name,
Thank
you're
you.
a jewel, literally. And I'm really grateful that I met you. And thank you for such valuable and deep, dark, real life learnings, because I'm definitely going to implement a lot of them. And even I needed to hear most of this. So I think now I am also attracting people to my podcast who genuinely come and teach me what I need to learn. So thank you so much for being the
Thank
biggest
you.
learning of
Thank
my
you.
life.
Thank you, Ayushi. Thank you so much. It had been wonderful talking to you. Now I think it would be the other way right. I would like to learn a lot from you also, because I
God.
have heard your story. I have heard your story, how you have transformed yourself, right? You also have your own journey, and every person's journey makes you learn something, right? So now it would be the other way around. Now I would like to learn something from you, because I have heard your podcast with Neeraj, Dream with Neeraj. I have heard your podcast with him. So I took some things from that also, right?
Oh my
So
God.
it's a learning. Your life is entirely learning. Every person comes into your life with some purpose, and they teach you something. But you just need to be a seeker. That's it.
Yes. Oh my God. So many bourbons. I'm literally having goosebumps because so many things are connecting. Like people cannot understand from the other side. But here, so many dots are connecting that I'm like,
Exactly.
wow, universe is working in crazy ways. So
Absolutely.
thank you so, so much. Now I'm very
Thank you,
eager
Aishi.
to meet you again. And I hope that I did justice to your story and you enjoyed
Absolutely.
this experience.
Thank you,
This
Aishi.
amazing to me. Thank you so much. Thank you for being
Thank
on
you.
Convo with Ash.
Thank you.
And I will
Thank you.
definitely
Thank you.
share all of your links so more and more people can connect with you and just be in your energy literally because they would see how crazy this experience is. Thank you. Thank you
Thank you,
so
Aishi.
much.
Thank you
Thank you
so
for
much.
existing. Thank you so much for being on this podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of Convo with Aysh till the end. I really appreciate your attention and support. If you haven't seen the previous episodes of this podcast, please go to the playlist and watch them. If you want to get connected with the amazing guest of today, please go to the description and check out the links of their profiles. Of course, do not forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it with your friends, relatives, or any person that you think would find this valuable or useful. Put down your learnings, queries, or feedbacks in the comments, and I will see you soon in the coming episodes of Convo with Aysh and with amazing and brilliant content on personal development, public speaking, communication skills, and hope no healing. Until next time, this is Ambivert Aysh signing off. Love, love. See you soon.